So, hello everyone, myself Gaurangi Kushwa, and today in this video, we are going to discuss a very debatable topic, that is the women centric laws in India and the consequences faced by males. Yes, so let's get started with the video. Okay, so as we all know, it is very well said that the excess of anything is very dangerous. Same is the thing with that women have been given excessive freedom from the flexible nature of the women centric legislation. This has led to a misuse of such legislation by women, and worst consequences had to be faced by the men. And there was a good intention behind formulation of women-centric laws, but today it had become a bane for all men all around. So, according to the data, women use these laws just to satisfy their ego, and mostly the cases are of molestation. Everyone in the society thinks of harassment of women by males, but no one gives a light on that somewhere males are also facing humiliation by women. So it is so because there is mindset fixed that the because of male is powerful than women, so it is the woman who always has to suffer and not the males. They are not ready to believe that a woman can also harass a man. I'm not saying that always a woman is wrong, but women are not always right. Legislature needs to see the loopholes in such a way. Judiciary needs to interpret it not literally but liberally. And also, last society needs to change their biased attitudes towards men. In this article, I'm focusing on, in this video actually, I'm focusing whether issues males are being harassed by women, and also what are the worst side of such flexible women centric laws. So let's move further. So the conditions of women in different phases, let's look into it. So if we consider the situation of women in the early Vedic period, it was good. The equality can be best seen in that phase where women had the right to get education, choose their partners. Even women do have Janeu ceremony like that of men. Women were involved in the debates with intellectual people. No will like Parda system was there, and also as a whole women have the equal status as compared to men in the particularly prevalent at that time. Women were given equal religious status as of man, and wife was considered as ardhangini. The men condition of women worsened from the Mughal era. Parda system and child marriage was common from that time. Critical analysis of women-centric laws. So nowadays we are watching in news, reading on social media that how women are torturing men by misusing the legislature. There are many cases happening in daily life of women harassing males, and the most of the cases are related to domestic violence. There are no statutory limitation prescribed for filing suit against dowry. So when women are filing it after a very long time, suppose 20 or 30 years later on a male counterpart and in laws, even after that, wife does not have to prove it, and husband did not have sufficient evidence to prove his innocence. Any of such cases which woman is a victim, it's already believed by the society that husband is at guilt whether it is proved or not. So these women-centric laws had somewhere caused a mental trauma to all the male sufferers. In order to make strict laws for favoring women, legislation not had paid attention to its worst consequences, which have been affecting males mostly in families laws. Females are strongly supported, like in divorce cases. Maintenance, if not provided to females, then males can be imprisoned. After separation of couples, child custody is mainly given to the mother. In adoption cases, a single male is not allowed to adopt a female child, etc. There had been certain loopholes in this legislation which had the drastic effect on male situation. Many males who cannot prove their innocence commit suicide in order not to face the sarcastic comments of society. But laws does not see all of this stuff. Even if a woman is arrested, there are several instructions are made, and even easily bail can also be taken. But in the case of male is arrested, practically they have to face several atrocities. The most of laws that had been misused are section 375, 376, 498A of IPC, Domestic Violence Act, and Dowry Prohibition Act, which had been a menace to man and his family. Legislature had formulated various laws for women, but not a single law favoring male. Women had been using these laws for a means of exhaustion and harassing male. Section 125 talks about the maintenance of wife, children, and parents, but now nowhere it talks about the maintenance of husband by capable wife. Women have statutory protection from domestic violence done by husband and his family under Domestic Violence Act. But if husband is harassed by his wife and his in-laws, then no specific protection is provided to husband. Tears of a woman are visible to each legislation, but every legislation cannot become blind when it comes to the male's tears. All feminist groups like a stand by Section 498A of IPC. This section has been heavily misused, leading to social hardship. Now the situation is that more false cases of domestic violence come to the court than the genuine one, and the innocent is put behind the bars. The On one side, our constitution says that no one should be discriminated on the basis of sex, and on the other hand, it grants the power to legislature to discriminate and make laws in favor of women against men. Although such provisions were made not for a good cause, that is to equalize the status of men and women, but women had taken the advantage of these type of legislation and tortured their male counterparts. So it is presumed that cruelty is always done by the superior person to his inferior, and it is the mindset of the society that always husband is powerful one who will do cruelty upon his wife. Perhaps even the chapter 20A of IPC talks about cruelty done by the husband and his family upon wife, and instead of cruelty done by person, there is no measuring standard set of cruelty against husband, and they said benefited wife, and she can put her husband and her in-laws behind the bars for up to 3 years and fine. In the case of Dr. N.G. Dastane versus S. Dastane, Supreme Court held that although physical cruelty is presumed to be done mainly by husband being the powerful, but mental cruelty can be done by both husband and wife. Even wife can do mental cruelty. So this was the thing which we have discussed. So moving towards the conclusion and end of this video, law is a multifaceted concept. Law is needed to be changed as per requirements of people. The main aim to introduce women-centric legislation was to prevent any kind of exploitation of women and to protect rights of the married woman against sexual or physical exploitation or mental torture by a husband and in-laws. But as the time passes, women started using these as a weapon against the male counterparts. This is very sad to see. They started blackmailing, harassing, and humiliating the males by false allegations. These allegations have been given an arbitrary power to women to exploit the men. There's a necessary to relook at the provisions which have been severe consequences on males, and merely provision is constitutional. This does not give a woman license to use it in any manner and destroy entire life of any man. Court need to do proper inquiry and police proper investigation without presuming that the accused male is guilty and had to for sure committed the crime without proper evidence. So the worst consequences of these laws are suicide of innocent husbands as they are unable to face the sarcastic comments of society. We need to stop this and should frame our own analysis, not just seeing what is there in front of us, as sometimes what we see is not real and what real is basically hidden from our eyes. So just open your eyes and just do the just with the society. By this I end my video here. Thank you so much for your patient listening. Stay safe, stay healthy.